Stade de Reims are finally back in the Champions League. We lost the final back in 1956 and again in 1959, but finally in 2025 we have the chance to redeem ourselves. The only problem is, our team is absolutely nowhere near good enough to win this tournament. We're going to spend as long as it takes to try and realistically build this mid-table club into a first European title. The most important thing to do in this July is to try and improve the team. We have some decent players, but we really need a goalkeeper and left back pretty badly. Thankfully, I've got just the players in mind. Firstly though, thanks for your suggestions, but Brice Samba was a little bit unrealistic for his rating and Marcin Bulka finished above us in the league. So instead, we're going to bring Eduard Mendy back to Reims. He struggled last year in Saudi Arabia, he's been replaced now by Keylor Navas, and we needed a top tier huge goalkeeper with experience winning the Champions League. So Eduard Mendy was the exact person we needed. A good left back is a little bit harder to find though. We don't actually have too much money left, but we can just about afford to sign Ramy Bensebaini from Borussia Dortmund. He's been replaced by Ian Maatsen and he's definitely happy to return to France. He's a member of last season's Champions League winning team and already our squad is looking so much better, but it's time to find our first storyline of the season. Okay, let's have a look. Well, unless we get unlucky with our August storyline, I don't think we'll actually be signing many more players. This could become a massive deal in January though. Composure is actually really underrated for career modes, especially in big European games, but if you want to keep your composure too, please allow me to introduce this video's sponsor, HelloFresh. In many ways, going shopping is a little bit like the summer transfer window, but I shop more like I'm in non-league than in the first division. It's hard to make title-winning food without getting the right ingredients, and with HelloFresh, there's no more staring blankly at the fridge wondering what to make for dinner. If you give HelloFresh a try, you can choose from a squad of over 30 calorie-smart or protein-smart recipes every single week. Your storyline should be to make more delicious food a priority this winter, with quick, convenient recipes being delivered right to your door with HelloFresh. Plus, when you sign up for HelloFresh today, you also get free dessert for life. If you're interested in making world-class meals at home, topped off with a dessert in extra time, why not use the link in the description and the code on screen right now? You'll get 16 free meals from America's #1 meal kit. I used HelloFresh personally when I was at university, and I can say that every meal I tried, I really enjoyed, and it was also simple enough for me to actually cook while I was still learning how to cook. Thanks for HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video, and of course check out the link in the description if you are interested in their service. But anyway, back to today's video, and thanks to our work off the pitch, we're going into this season so much stronger than last year, and somehow it's already time to play our first match. Our first match actually takes place in France, but our opponent is going to be Danish, because our 4th place finish was actually bumped from Europa League qualification to the Champions League knockout rounds, and I think this was because Lyon won the Europa League last season. So finally, Stade de Reims are back in the big time. So football kicks off in Reims for the first time since the summer of 1963. It's been a long time coming, but I really do believe we have enough in our team to get past a fairly mediocre team from Copenhagen. Honestly though, we really did struggle in this game. In the first half, it ended 0-0, we only had one real chance, and in the second half, Copenhagen got off to the better start. They were really good at this kind of thing, passing the ball around the edge of the box, and Clayson would force a good save there from Eduard Mendy. Adingra, who was starting this match to try and get his overall rating up a little bit, passes it to Tuma. Back to Adingra, tried to get it into Darami in the middle, but our Dane can't quite get past one of theirs, and the game is going to end 0-0. It wasn't actually the best start to the season that we could have hoped for, but I guess 0-0 is better than losing, and we do always have the second leg. But we also have to play in the French League, and our first match of the season, it really does have the potential to be a season-defining match. We expect to be about the same level as RC Lyon throughout the season, so we need to get off to a good start and hopefully win this first match. Eduard Mendy absolutely smashing their attacker there to prevent a goal. Lyon dribbling on the edge of the box, and they would score the first goal of the episode by smashing it past Eduard Mendy. He probably could have saved it, and I would have expected Diouf to have saved it early in last season, but I guess we can't win them all. What a shot that was from Menetzi. Lyons would try and clear it, but we would come back to Menetzi a few minutes later, and this time we get the equaliser. Brice Samba was on our list of goalkeeper possibilities, and we've actually scored at least 2 goals against him in all of the games we've played against Lyon so far, so we could easily go on to get the win in this one. Eduard playing it through but can't quite find Ito. Mendy reclaims the ball to Tuma. Back to Eduard into the box, smashes it across Samba, and yet again we've stuck 2 in the RC Lens net. What a start this is. We really could get off to a roll early in the season, but maybe not actually, because Thomas Fouquet, our right back, has seen a red card. It seemed a little bit dubious if that was a red card, but I guess diving in from the side can get given. Hopefully the refs aren't against us this season. The long cross came in. Good save there, tipping over his bar by 6'6" Eduard Mendy, but his height probably did cost him there because he couldn't get down fast enough, and Faglini would get a second equaliser in this game. 2-2, and with just a few seconds left, we were going to draw our first match of the season in both the Champions League and in the French League. We're going to do live commentary for all the big games, so hopefully you enjoyed that, and hopefully we can finally get through the knockouts and into the actual competition, the Champions League. Can we beat Copenhagen? Well, let's find out. I don't like playing these away matches in the Champions League. They always seem to be a bit more tough than the home matches, but good turn from Ramy. Finesse it, come on, into the bottom corner. Early 1-0 lead, that's exactly what we needed. There's nothing the goalkeeper can do about that. We're playing Ramy over Eduard. I think he's actually a better player. Clayson on the attack. Can we squeeze him out? Okay, let's just stand tackle him. Oh, we caught him there, haven't we? The ref's given a penalty. Come on. We dived the wrong way. We're so bad at saving penalties, and it's 1-1, but I really do think we've got it in us to get at least one more goal. Come on, Ramy. Use the pace. We see Nakamura pull it across. There it is. No chance we're missing that. 2-1. We deserve to be in the lead. Nakamura, hopefully, is going to kick on this season because he wasn't great last year. Oh, I love doing that skill. Shame it never really works against the AI, but Daramy's got it. Come on, pass it to Nakamura. Get a second goal. That would have been insane. The bicycle kick in the Champions League. That would have been an absolute dream goal to have scored. I saw the old Notts County manager say short corners are better, so we'll give one a go. Nakamura. And is that Mendy? It's fallen to Richardson. It's in. 3-1. We deserve that. I can't believe he outjumped the goalkeeper, but I guess he is like 6'4". He nearly got punched in the head. Okay, another short corner. Let's do it again. Nakamura. Okay, maybe they don't always work, but what have they done there? It's fallen to Mendy. Hit it. Oh, it's rolled into the corner. 4-1. We have absolutely crushed Copenhagen at their own stadium. Come on, can we get a fifth? Eduard, 1-on-1, surely. Yeah, that's in. Hopefully a Champions League goal can start a bit of form for Odsonne Eduard, because he has been a little bit bad for us in the 6 months that we've had him. And I think the referee is going to blow his whistle. 5-2. I mean, I can't really complain about that scoreline. Shame about the goal at the end, but we are into the actual knockout rounds of the Champions League. Get in. So it's time for our second storyline of the episode, and I think this one's probably inspired by Ted Lasso, but it's easy enough to do. For our first game in September, we'll use the 3-1-4-2 formation, and maybe if we beat Strasbourg by enough goals, it'll even stick around for the rest of the year. So how good was that game against Copenhagen right there? We absolutely crushed them, and really, Strasbourg are possibly another team we can destroy. I don't think they're that much better than Copenhagen, and you've seen that our team knows how to score goals. Dingra right there, hitting the crossbar, would have been a nice finesse round the corner. Eduard in a 1-2 with Dingra. We're trying to get him in the game a little bit more because Ito's getting a bit older and he has started to go down in overall, so we really need Dingra to play as many matches this season, and maybe we could even sell him for a big amount of money later on. We tried another short corner, and this time it was Eduard at the back post. Maybe if he had a centre-back we would have scored, but maybe if our centre-back had got in the way of that, we wouldn't have conceded. We left a massive hole, and Strasbourg have punished us with Mathiba scoring a first goal against us, but hopefully Nakamura can equalise, which he absolutely can. What a finish that was! He was one of the players that I'd kind of earmarked that we'd probably have to replace in the January transfer window because he was stuck on 75 overall, but over the course of July and August, he's already gone up 2 overall and he started scoring goals, as has Mendy. I mean, what a finish that is. He scored 2 from outside the box, so if he keeps this up, doesn't get injured, he would be huge scoring goals from midfield. It's exactly what we were lacking last year. But despite our good form, that's actually only our first win of the season. We drew our first 3 matches, and that's seen us end up in 10th place. So we do have a little bit of ground to cover, but we are still only 4 points off first place. So almost anything is possible. And same can be said about the Champions League. We were a little bit lucky to get AEK Athens in our group, but having Atletico Madrid and AC Milan means that this is going to be a tough group stage. If we want to finish second in this group, we need to make the most of this game against AEK Athens. and good save from Mendy, but we're going to have to defend a corner right now, and especially in the Champions League, the AI can be pretty dangerous from this position. Eliasson to Mantalos, crosses it in. Zuba, what a save that is there from Mendy. Eduard gets around 2, hit this please. We didn't quite get it. Ito, get it low, and no one's there to tap that in. Could have been a good goal. Nakamura, come on, score another decent goal. We've got the Smet overlapping. I see Eduard in the middle. Let's try and get it to him. Come on. Why has he not scored that? That's terrible. Nakamura, we could have easily scored one by now. Use that pace. I can't imagine the defenders are very fast at Athens. Come on, I want to cut back and I want to finesse this. Cuts back. Can he finesse it? He can. Oh, it's missed by a couple of inches. That could have hit the inside of the post and gone in for sure. Through that gap. Come on, Ramy. Yes, hits it. What a finish. We used an effort touch to get between the two defenders, and I absolutely loved it. Getting straight through the middle, one-on-one, smashes it. No way any goalkeeper saving that, let alone the AEK Athens one. Just a few minutes left to defend. Come on, it's just a free kick. Oh my god, they've hit it straight at Mendy. How has he not saved this? Let's have a look at the replay. I think his hand touches it. That's absolutely dreadful goalkeeping. Are we going to regret signing Eduard Mendy? Well, I suppose he was only a couple of million. Come on, ref, just blow the whistle. We'll take the draw. Not the way we wanted to start this tournament, but they did only have a single shot. I think the worst thing is that we've tired out our team trying to get the win, and we've got to play Monaco next, who are going to be in that top 4 race just like we are. Yeah, so as we are about halfway through the 3rd month of the season, things aren't really going the way that we were planning, but it's mainly because of defensive or goalkeeping errors that are stopping us from winning games, and we're having to settle for draws instead. This game against Monaco was against another team that is actually unbeaten this season. They've won all 5 of their first 5, but when the AI scores a free kick like that, you know that Monaco really could be title contenders alongside PSG again this season. They have fallen off a little bit since they won the title in about 2018, but their goalkeeper was absolutely unbeatable, and Golovin scored one of the best goals we actually conceded this entire season. They also had a little bit of luck like that. They just ran into our defender, or we ran into them, I guess, and they got a penalty for it. As always, the AI stepped up and scored the penalty, so 2-0 down. We knew we didn't have much chance of winning this match. Having the Champions League in your life really does make things a lot harder because you have to deal with so many more fatigue issues and injury issues, and hopefully we can start to expand our squad a little bit because we have about 10 or so good players, and really to win the title and also be good in the Champions League we'll need about 15 to 20, so we're really going to have to improve our squad over January and maybe next summer. But as Monaco attacked for the last minute in the match, they of course went on to make it 3-0. That means Monaco have won all 6 of their games, so they're on 18 points. Meanwhile, we're still down there on 9. It's also the last match of September, so that means it's of course time for a new storyline. And this one could be quite bad because our best player is still Eduard Mendy. We didn't have any of the keepers really, so we'll be using Loic Badiashile, who we only signed to be a total backup. It's going to be a rating drop of 14 overall, but at least it's only for 1 game. If we lose this match, I hope our major sponsor really does feel happy about themselves. We have a pretty decent month coming up, starting off against Saint Etienne, then we're going to play against AC Milan, and then we've got an even bigger game against Lille. This could be absolutely crucial to both our Champions League and our League One finishing positions, so October was going to be huge. And we needed to get off to a good start against Saint Etienne. We had Ramy up front because we wanted to rest players for that AC Milan game, so we had to try and rotate as much as we could. Thankfully, Ramy is actually pretty damn good. He got through one-on-one here, and I think that's a chance that probably odds-on Eduard would have just hit straight at the goalkeeper. It took 70 minutes, but we had the 1-0 lead. All we had to do was hold on for the last 20 minutes, and that's exactly what we did. And you can see the slow climb has already started to the top of this division. All we had to do was try and repeat another 1-0 win, this time against AC Milan in the Champions League. I feel a little bit jealous seeing that Shevchenko tifo because we don't have any legends on Ultimate Team, so we don't get a tifo. Eduard beating one defender. Can he beat Tomori? He can. He hits it straight past Mike Maignan. The French goalkeeper beaten by the French striker. We'll take an early 1-0 lead absolutely all day. Now it's all about defending. Can we door bolt, or catenaccio as the Italians would call it, for the rest of the match? That was a silly tackle. He was so desperate to get the ball. Oh, I think this is a red card. It is. That is going to change things. Right, what can we do here? Ito, get Ito off, put Bussy, maybe play Bensebaini centre-back. It's going to have to do. Reinders with the free kick. Goes backwards, thank God. Jonathan Tah back to Reinders. Benassa, Chukwueze, Okafor. Good job, we got a block there. And good catch there from Eduard Mendy. Okafor on the ball again. Theo Hernandez gets absolutely bodied. Bensebaini just clear this off the pitch. Here, get rid of that. Leao, the danger man to Okafor. 1-on-1, good save. Can we get to the rebound? We can. Bensebaini just about scrambles it clear. Milan attacking down the wing again. That could have been a penalty. Oh, Leao was unmarked at the back post there. What a stop that was from Mendy. And the referee confirms it. We have our first win in the Champions League since 1963. That win could be absolutely huge. If we can get a draw or even just lose narrowly against Atletico Madrid, we could be through into the knockout rounds. But we have to focus on this game against Lille, because this is going to be just as important. If we don't win this one, then we are going to be in danger of missing out on the Champions League next year, no matter how well we do this season. When this ball fell to Solanke, he put it in the net, and I was so thankful that the assistant's flag was very much raised. Good decision that from the referee. Tuma turning, and he hasn't really been that good this season, to be honest. Last year he was alright. This season I was expecting a little bit more as we put more good players around him, but nothing so far. Monetsi gets the ball to Tuma again though. Adingra, Darami smack it on the volley. How has he not found the net? We need a replay of this. How close was this? We chipped it over the defender. We probably could have taken a touch looking at this replay. The defender and the goalkeeper were quite far away, and we hit his bottle rather than the side netting. It's a bit of a shame. The French League is actually quite interesting because you don't get too many low-scoring matches like this one, usually because both teams' defences are absolutely terrible, but we were relying on ours right there to block that shot. If they hadn't blocked it, it probably would have been a 1-0 loss, but instead, we're going to take 1 point back to Rennes. We're also going to take a storyline back to Rennes. So we're in October, so we don't actually have to do anything to this one just now, but it's quite a nice one for our team. We have a couple of Japanese players, so signing another one isn't really the most unrealistic thing out there. We'll send one of our scouts off to Korea just in case we can't find anyone from Japan, and that's it, let's get back to playing matches. PSG weren't actually quite as strong as they were last year. They had people like Dagba in their team, and we know from one of our old saves that he really isn't the best fullback. So if we can get our left winger Nakamura on the ball and run at Dagba, then we have a decent chance of scoring at least one goal in this game. It was actually at this part of the season I totally gave up on using odds on Eduard, but it was going to be really tough to try and score with a 74 rated Darami against such a good PSG team. They scored their first goal in the 10th minute, and I say first goal because of course they're going to go on to score at least one more. Darami would get a decent chance right here, but his pullback wasn't quite good enough, otherwise that could easily have been an equaliser. We were actually quite lucky to go in at half-time only 1-0 down. We could have scored a couple of goals, but PSG could have scored at least 3 in that first half. They had another good chance right there, but some really solid defending from us did keep them out, but it didn't last for long. Good finish there from Vitinha, just slotting it straight past Mendy. Nothing we can really do about that one. Mbappe had a good chance right here, but his chip would find the top of the net rather than the back of the net. Another couple of seconds later, Simmons would find Mbappe, and this time he didn't make the same mistake. 3-0 up, and it was quite clear that PSG was so much better than us. They would make it 4-0 yet again, with Zai Emery scoring another late goal just like he did in the Cup last season, and that was going to be our biggest loss of the season so far. It's actually not good timing because we also had our last group stage match, which was against Atletico Madrid. Basically, if we win this, we would be top of our group. If we lost this, we could still finish third. So that goal, after 3 minutes by Odson Edouard, who was back in the team because Darami actually got injured against PSG, was an absolutely amazing start. We had a look to see how much pace Witsel and Azpilicueta had after the match, and Witsel was on 21 sprint speed, while Azpilicueta was on 26. So we had a decent amount of pace up front, and that meant we were going to have a lot of chances in this match. But so would they, because they had a decent team. It took a nice save there from Mendy to keep Saul's edge of the box shot out, and Molina would find Morata, who'd come into the box, a back heel to Griezmann, and that is an absolute classic Griezmann finish into the top left corner. So we're back level. We needed to get ahead. Our injured Darami came on off the bench and would actually make the difference in the 72nd minute, scoring a nice one-on-one finesse shot into the far corner. In a situation like this, of course, you want as many goals in the lead as you can possibly get, and thankfully Darami gave us a second goal lead, and what a finish that was. Oblak, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, all he can do is palm such a powerful finish slightly closer to the edge of the net. I love scoring that goal. That was absolutely amazing. We kept trying our short corner technique and we hit the crossbar. That would have absolutely killed the game off, but we didn't need it because we would go on to win 3-1 and actually finish top of our group. Like we said, if Madrid had won that, we would have been out, but we are through to the knockout rounds of the Champions League. It's also the first time we've had a storyline repeat, but at least it was a nice easy one. We can't actually go on to renew Eduard Mendy's contract, so instead, we're going to renew our second highest rated player, who's Kaito Nakamura. He absolutely deserves it. He's grown by 2 and he's been performing really well this season. Job done. But before we could even play any games in December, we actually had to sort a bigger issue. We've now got 4 of our best players out injured, and we also had to recall both Diakite and Adelen, or we wouldn't have a full bench of players. We also got a massive offer for Simon Adingra from Monaco, and I don't think we could actually realistically say no to this offer of £40.3 million. We'll still have him in the squad for the next couple of matches, but we'll need to sign a replacement in January, otherwise we're going to have even more holes in this squad. One hole that we haven't missed though is Sergio Akiemi. Bensebaini has been so much better than him, that is when he hasn't been injured, that we haven't missed this guy at all, but it was time for him to try and get revenge because it was his Marseille team that was visiting our ground in the next match. Marseille passing it around the back right now, Klaus. I think the ref's just going to blow for half time, and that was one of the most boring halves I have ever played, I think. Passing it out to Richardson, back heel it to Sarmiento. Can we dribble around Kondogbia? We try. I guess the block in. Good block there from Marseille. We've got a corner. Should we go short? Nah, let's just hit it in. Tuma. And we get the header, but it's another good save from the goalkeeper. Diakite, he's not been so good, but he's not very high rated either. Ito, he should be scoring that. He used to be our best player. Another corner comes in. Agbadou jumps highest. Agbadou with the powerful header. Really nice goal, that one. Something so nice about scoring corner goals on FC24. When your player just jumps highest, gets that much power on it, nothing a goalkeeper's going to be able to do about that one. One last attack now for Marseille. Ndai from the edge of the box. Well saved that by Mendy. And we confirm yet another win. So we know we're top of our group. But we're going to be playing against Juventus in a really tough round of 16 match in just a couple of days. But before that, we're actually playing on Christmas Day. I'm not sure why the game's decided to put a match on Christmas Day, but it absolutely has. It's a shame it's not snowing, but we're going to try and make Toulouse lose in a Christmas Day special. They have a danger man up front though, Thies Dalanga. He's got 4 goals in his last 3 games, so let's try and avoid making that 5 goals in his last 4. Adingra getting on the ball in midfield. Baleba, we have a very big rotated team in this one, as you can probably tell. But Darami's one of them. He gets through, he's past the defender, slots it in. 14 minutes, 1-0 up. Great start. It's the games against teams like Toulouse and Saint Etienne that we absolutely have to win if we want to have any chance of closing that 10-point gap PSG already have above us. Honestly though, I'm just looking forward to spending some of that Adingra money to try and make this squad as good as it possibly could. Of course though, Thies Dalanga is going to score against us. It was almost inevitable. Whenever you see that pre-match stat that they're in good form, they always seem to score. Darami's in decent form though, and he could have scored that one. If he'd just put a bit more height on it, he would have chipped it into the top corner. I think this is going to be our last attack of the match. Sarmiento, he gets blocked off, and the game's going to end 1-1, so yet another draw. With our strange Christmas Day fixture over, let's hope the storyline generator gives us a present. Okay, well, it hasn't really. We can combine this with August and October storylines, which means we have to sign an Asian international player with 80 or more overall. It's going to be possible, but it's going to be tough to find someone with that kind of rating. Rio Hatate is playing for Celtic, and he's also the exact right overall and has over 75 composure. For just under £15 million, he's ours, and that's 3 storylines completed all at once. With Odsonne Edouard also departing after not really impressing me, we have a massive hole at both right wing and striker. I think I found the exact players that this team needs. First, we're going to re-sign someone who left in 2021. Welcome back to Reims, Bouli Dia. Brian Mboimo is also going to be our new winger. He left France back in 2019, but we've rescued him from a Brentford side that haven't actually played him once this year. I'd honestly say that our team is now good enough to actually challenge in Europe, but that game against Juventus might still be a bit too much. While a lot of our strikers are out of form, Bouli Dia is absolutely on top form. In his last game for Salernitana, he got a hat-trick. So why don't you leave a comment below? Let me know who you think is going to score first for our team. Is it going to be Hatate, Dia or Mboimo? We had a decent chance there, but Hatate fell over. Nakamura tries to chip it into Dia, and hopefully that's not a sign of the kind of performances we're going to get from him. A hat-trick in his last game, I think he just made 3 mistakes just then. Hatate gets the ball out wide. Can he finesse it from the edge of the box? He tries, but Juan Carlos is going to just catch that one so easily. Nakamura, he's now an 80 rated player. He finds Bouli Dia. Come on, have you got enough pace? Surely you can finish this one. Off the crossbar, he hit it with so much power. That should easily have been that first goal. Dia again. He's going to link it with Nakamura. We have Mbermo in the middle. We're not going to use him. We should have used him. We're just going to smash that one wide. Hatate on the ball. Mbermo. What a finish that is. You can tell he's got the finesse shot play style because that was exactly like that Griezmann one he scored against us for Atletico Madrid. And Mbermo would also get the first assist. So he got the first goal of those 3 and the first assist. And what an assist it was. That cross right onto the foot of Nakamura. We had a little chance here, but really we're just going to take the 2-0 lead. Another 3 points and a little bit more momentum into the last half of the season. Perfect. Just before we did January storyline and a few days before the transfer window closed, we noticed that Hugo Ekitike was on the transfer list. We can't quite afford him right now, but his contract is expiring this summer and he could be an amazing free agent. If we could pay us £90,000 per week wages, that is. Anyway, onto the storyline. This one is nice and simple. We just need to find a player that is at least 6'4". We did find this academy guy, Ryu, but he's too young to promote, so we'll have to find a decent free transfer. Theo Zidane looks good. He's the son of a legend and also going to be the completer of this storyline. He won't play very much, but it is still fun to imagine Zinedine Zidane hanging around the training ground to watch his son play. Zinedine Zidane wasn't in attendance for the first match that Zidane could have played though, because it was a snowy match against RC Lens. Someone that was there was Ramy Bensebaini. For the first time in a couple of months, he's back in our squad, and that could make a huge difference going into this run-in. And Mbermo on the ball, outside of the box, really weird mistake right there, but he's going to win it back, is he? No, great goalkeeping there from Brice Samba. Santa Maria trying to press Tuma, but we turn him. We've got Nakamura, finesse shot from the edge of the box. He has absolutely turned it on these past few months. What a finish that is. Finessed perfectly over Samba's hand, down the middle of the goal, sure, but it's a really nice finish. Are we going to score 2 past Samba yet again? Well, just before half time, it's actually Lon who nearly scored past us, but good save that from Mendy. Tuma now from the edge of the box, and yet again, that's 4 matches we played against Lon and Brice Samba, and we've scored 2 goals in every single one of them. I think we got a 2-2 last year and a 2-0 win, and we also got a 2-2 draw this year, so let's hope we get a second 2-0 win. Well, it's not going to be, because as soon as Bensebaini comes off, Santa Maria would loop a header over Eduard Mendy. It's yet another goalkeeping mistake. I'm starting to get a little bit bored of them, honestly. Ito with the volley in the last minute, that would have been an absolute banger, but we're going to take the 2-1 win. We're still on track to finish second, which given the awful start to the season we had, I would absolutely take. Anyway, now it's time for the big one. It was time for Stade de Reims' first knockout match for over 62 years. Bouli Dia cuts inside behind Diallo. Can he finish? Oh, it's a good block that from Bremer. Mbermo, he pushes someone out the way. Nice bit of strength there from the winger. That's what we brought him in the team to do. Let's dribble. Right, let's try and finesse this. Come on, into the far corner. Yeah, I think even if that had gone on target, Szczesny had that covered. Nakamura to Tuma. We've got Dia, but we've also got Nakamura out wide. Now to Dia, surely. Okay, 1-on-1. We've got Mbermo, but I don't think we can pass this. Let's just finesse it. Oh, it's a good save from Szczesny yet again. Is he going to be the thorn in our side? Chiesa into our box. Let's not give away another silly penalty for no reason. Good defending, and Vlahovic's header goes just wide. Kostic with the corner. Nakamura heads it away. De Smet just about clears it. And Tuma finishes the job, but I think we're actually in this match. We're competing with Juventus, which is absolutely amazing to me. Dia gets the ball from Hatate, tries to finesse it. One of these days, he's going to score that first goal for us, and it is going to be absolutely amazing. Richardson, good ball out to Nakamura. Tuma and Nakamura, they've linked up so well throughout this match. Has he got enough pace to get away from Bremer? He has. There's another good save from Szczesny. This guy's unbeatable. And Mbermo gives it to Dia. Hatate dribbles around him. Good bit of footwork right there into the box. Again, what another great save that is from Szczesny. Right, let's try another one of these short corners. And Mbermo to Nakamura. Okumu, he leaps highest. I was not expecting him to be the man that scored the goal, but He jumped above all the defenders, and there's nothing Szczesny can do about that one. We now have something to defend in the rest of this match and in the next leg. Juventus, is that a blunder? Sorely Dia! Oh my god, if we'd have made it 2-0, there's no way we're not going through in my opinion. We could defend a 2-0 lead, but 1-0 is going to be risky. And the referee blows his whistle. We'll have to play a couple of league games before we find out if we are in the quarterfinals. With our Champions League fate still kind of hanging in the balance, let's find our storyline. Well, this one is actually quite bad, and it's an unlucky day for our loaned out right back Terence Kadu. He never quite learned to play right mid last year, but we've recalled him and then sacked him straight away to stop this investigation. At least this won't affect the next match against PSG, where our entire team is either tired or injured. This could be pretty bad. We've already lost 4-0 to PSG twice in this career, and with the team that we've put out today, there's a serious risk that this could be even worse. Why has no one jumped on that ball right there? Our goalkeeper's too slow, and that has to be one of the most annoying and worst goals I have ever conceded in 25 years of career mode. No one went for the ball, and they just slotted it straight round our goalkeeper. Mbappe with the deep free kick. That would have been an unreal finish. Off the post, we're so lucky it's not 2-0. Sanset getting on the ball again. Renato Sanchez back to Sanset to Koke. See, Mbappe's trying to make space through the middle, and he's found it. Good save from Mendy. Can we keep it to just 1-0? Well, Ito, he scored against PSG last year. Surely he can do it again. It's a nice finish from a man who hasn't played too much this season, and we have our equaliser against PSG. Can we hold on? Can we get this point? Xavi Simons trying to dribble into the box. Ito wins it back, but it falls back to Simons. Mbappe to Mukiele, and that's going to be another goal for PSG. Not the man you would have expected to have scored, but it was a decent finish from the centre-back. Sanset gets the ball on the edge of the box. It's a good tackle from Richardson, I thought, but it's going to end up with maybe Mbappe hitting this. And that's just as good, if not better, than that Golovin one that Monaco scored against us. We do have daylight still between us and third place, Lens, but we are absolutely nowhere near the title, and I think PSG are about 3 or 4 matches away from securing that themselves. We'll use the rest of the season to try and grow our players as fast as we can, maybe scout some new players out to try and make a run for the title next season. If we're serious about making that title challenge next year though, we'll need to learn how to beat teams like FC Lorient, because you're not going to get a title by drawing against teams like this. Of course, we do also have one eye on that game against Juventus in just a couple of days' time, so we have got a kind of half-rested team, and Burmo, he should have had about 10 league goals for us already, and he's only played in about 10 games, so he's looking like he could be a really good signing. Bouli Dia hasn't really been a good goal scorer, but he is linking up the play, and he was a big part of that opening goal. His header across found Hatate, and he found Nakamura, celebrating with a dance as he becomes an 81 rated player. Insane growth from a really useful player. And Mboimo would have a decent chance right there. We probably could have passed that across to Dia, and that would have been a nice, unselfish way to score our first goal, but we avoid getting taken out right there. Dia again, getting so unlucky. He hit that with so much power. Somehow, he's still not scored a goal for Stade de Reims. Dia, he beats Talbi. He's got 2 men in the middle. Can he find him? He can't quite find him, and that's probably going to be the last chance we have in this game. The referee is going to give us the win, and that is going to be another 1-0 win, and basically has secured us second place come the end of the season. Really, in the league, we've only got a couple more storylines to do, so we might just skip and only concentrate on the Champions League for the rest of this year. We have a fully fit team. You can see some of our players like foremost Mendy now being 80 rated, some insane growth since we signed him last year, but we're going to need him to play like a 90 rated player if he's going to stop Vlahovic and Moises Kean. Let's see how we get on in this second leg. Robertioni, Akumu dives in, what a tackle that is, kind of risking giving away a penalty, but it was absolutely worth it, good decision. Richardson there with a late hit on their midfielder, but Kostic keeps the ball, plays advantage. De Paul turns, finds Keane, good save there from Mendy. Corner, is it going to be De Paul? It is, they put it in the box, but Nakamura's really bad header. The ball's ricocheting and just about gets caught by Mendy. Chiesa controls it twice. Keane finds the far corner. Goalkeeper's not saving that. That had way too much power on it. I really like this Juventus kit, by the way. Keane on the ball again. The goal scorer finds Vlahovic. Mendy, come on, just like stop this shot. Vlahovic did a little touch. It rolled behind foremost Mendy. The youngster giving away a penalty. Can we finally save a penalty though? Vlahovic. And we dived the right way. There was just no response there from Mendy. That was just an annoying one to concede. Come on, we're making so many mistakes right now. Mendy bailing us out yet again. Can we finally get an equaliser? Nakamura, we've got 20 minutes left. We're fighting for everything. Tuma from the edge of the box. Narrowly missed. That was so close to finding that far corner. And Bomo, oh dear, this would be a great time to score that first goal. Or pass it to Nakamura. Come on, like force your way through. We got 3 or 4 lucky rebounds there, but not the one that mattered. And Bomo again, out wide against Alexandro, a man who's already announced he's retiring. Cross goes towards Nakamura, and Szczesny's always catching that one. Richardson and Nakamura pressing Danilo, but Locatelli, they're too good at keeping the ball, and we are out of Europe. It was a really fun adventure from the knockout rounds to the group stage to the second knockout round. It's a shame how it ended, but unfortunately it has, and we are officially out of Europe. Now, that's not the most successful month we've had in this career, but we're still comfortably second in the table, so I'm going to skip doing the storylines and skip to the end of the season right now, just to try and keep this video a little bit shorter. Our first storyline was in March, where a major sponsor insisted that we had a star player in their advertisement campaign, so that just meant that Bouli Dia would miss a game against Saint Etienne that we'd go on to win anyway. Our April storyline was contract talks failing with a star player, which meant we had to sell our highest overall player with less than 2 years on their contract. For us, this was actually Yunya Ito, and is fair enough. With his wages off the books though, and a little bit of a transfer fee, maybe we could restart talks to loan in Hugo Ekitike. I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. Anyway, this is how the table finally finished in May. We got a second place finish by quite a distance in the end, and I think we're in a pretty nice position now to try and challenge for first place next year. We'll have a transfer budget of about 55 to 60 million in my opinion, and if you've got any suggestions, please shoot them over to me on Instagram or Discord or Twitter, or leave them in the comments below. But thank you for watching. Really do appreciate your viewership. And if you want to watch something else, please check out the video in the playlist on screen right now, which is going to be a different set of career modes that I've done in the past. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers and goodbye.